Hey everybody, this is Bradley's Fan 9, and in this video I'm going to show you how to complete Insane Campaign in Gears 5. The cheese method, where you and a co-op partner can both get credit for completing Insane co-op, where one of your co-op partners plays on beginner the whole time, the other one plays on Insane. So to start off, the host is going to need to be the one that's playing on Insane difficulty the whole time. Now if you want to see which ones you completed on Insane or not, because the game kind of didn't track it properly, this may have been fixed since the initial release, but just in case, go to your stats and then go to campaign, and then if you go over to the axe, it'll tell you which ones you've completed on what difficulty. As you see there, it says I've completed that on Insane. I've completed the whole game on Insane. I had to redo a few chapters, but as you can see here, if you've done all the Insane and didn't get it to unlock, this is where you go. Look in the axe, and then as you see here, Act 1, Chapter 3 for some reason doesn't think I've completed it on Insane. So I've actually completed the whole campaign on Insane, me and my co-op partner doing this method. So I'm just showing you here, this is how you clean it up if you completed the Insane and didn't get it to unlock and are wondering why. So then I'll just show you, I completed this mission on Insane. Still didn't unlock once I got to the last part of the chapter. So I'm going to back out, and then I go back in to the stats there. And as you see, now it says I completed it on Insane. But the achievement doesn't pop until I quit out the game and then reload the game for whatever reason. So I'm just showing you, if it gets stuck and you don't know why it didn't unlock, make sure to look in the stats and the act section, and then look at each act and make sure each chapter has the little Insane symbol on it, because sometimes it doesn't track it for whatever reason. It may have been fixed, but at least it was doing that for me, so it may have done it for you. And now when it comes to the method, basically the host is going to have to be on Insane, your co-op partner is going to be on beginner, and then basically the Insane person stays in the back while the casual player does most of the work throughout the campaign. And then right before you get to the end of the chapter, the Insane guy will pause, and then the one on casual will back out of the game and then come back in. And when they come back in, choose Insane and then hit RT to come back. You will see what I mean when you try it. And then once you come back, then you can stay paused the whole time, and then once you come back, then you finish the mission, and you'll both get credited for beating it on Insane, even though one of you are on casual most of the time. Now the trickiest part to this is knowing when each chapter ends. I've done this for Gears 4, and that would have been really handy to have a video of someone explaining how each chapter ends, so me and my partner didn't have to keep pausing and backing out 5 times in a match, not knowing if the chapter was ending or not. So that's what I'm going to show you here in this video. I'll try and leave out as many spoilers as I can, but understanding if you're going for this cheese, you may see a few of them by watching this video, but I'll do my best to avoid them. So as I'm showing you here, this is the end of Act 1, Chapter 1. I'll show you on the top there which act we're on, what the chapter is and the chapter is called, and then I'll also add a little description of what you have to do right before the mission ends so that you know when to pause the game. So on this one, as you saw, we had 2 drones before we saw a ladder there, and then once you see that ladder, you want to pause, come back as Insane, your co-op partner, and then finish the level. You'll have a few juvies there, but you'll reload the checkpoint right at the button, so it's okay. So the next one here, there's no enemies in this one, so you could both stay on Insane for this chapter, and then once you open the door to Jin's office, that chapter ends. So at the end of Chapter 3, you kill the Snatcher, and then right after the Snatcher dies, about 5 seconds later, you'll get a cutscene ending the chapter. So remember for that one, as soon as you kill the Snatcher, pause, and then come back. Remember the host stays on insane the whole time. And now in Chapter 4, you'll end off by killing the Swarmak by shooting the bike in the mouth. So right as you blow it up, or more safely, right before you blow it up, pause and have your co-op partner come back on insane and then finish him off. So this is basically what I'm doing. I'll show you the end of each chapter like so. And as long as you know the method, the host stays on insane, co-op partner plays on casual till the end, until I tell you to pause. And then once I tell you to pause, that's when you back out, come back in on insane, and you'll both get credit for beating the chapter on insane. Feel free to check your chapter progress for proof. Now in Chapter 1 of Act 2, after a whole bunch of things, you'll spawn in this barn with a skiff up top, and the chapter will end once you jump on the skiff, so you'll have lots of time to pause and back out and come back for this one.
Hey, Del.
Hey, what?
I'm glad you're here.
Me too.
Now Chapter 2 of Act 2. There's only one enemy in this whole level, and that's a carrier in the train tunnel. But once you go past the outsider camp and drop down this ledge here, it'll be the ledge of no return, and then the chapter will end. So make sure to be on insane, because once you walk forward, the chapter's gonna change, because sometimes it does that, where there's no obvious cutscene, but it just changes chapters like that. So right before you go down that ledge, at least make sure both of you are on insane. Now the next chapter, Chapter 3, you'll slide down an icy slope, and you'll find a group of enemies here. Once the music settles and you kill the enemies, bring your co-op partner back on insane, and then walk through this little cave area here, and once you slide down, using some stim here, but once you slide down this, the chapter will end and automatically hit a cutscene. Now keep in mind you can do this with 2 controllers. Have your main signed in on insane and keep them in the background while your other controller does the work on casual, although that would be a little more difficult to do that. It's way better if you have a co-op partner, because both of you can get this in one playthrough. So Chapter 4, there's a lot going on. You got to get 2 comm tower locations and some phosphorus from a mine, and then once you get all that, it tells you to go to location on the ice and plant the phosphorus. So right before you plant it, make sure you're both on insane. Next one, there's a very obvious boss at the end of Chapter 5, and you have to kill it by shooting it in the back. It gets frozen in the water, so your co-op partner on casual hurts it until it's about 1 hit away, and then walk up right behind it where you're right by its sweet spot, pause, and then back out and come back in on insane, and then finish it off as soon as you come back. That one gave us the most trouble, but if you do it that way, you should be able to do that one in one try. Next one, you'll come to this door in the rocket hangar. You'll be 4 of you chilling by the door. After you open the door, the chapter will change, so make sure you are both on insane before you open that door. You may have time to pause after you open it, but just keep in mind, do it before the door opens.
Or command center.
Or whatever the UIR called it.
Mission control is active.
Next one on Chapter 2. You're going to have to drop a bridge, and then right after you drop that bridge, you're going to be attacked by some enemies, and now this chapter kind of ends pretty suddenly, so you're going to want to keep close note of this one.
Got it. It's coming down.
So once you see that and the bridge goes down, the chapter's almost over. You'll come out to the outside area here. You'll see a stone with a red hill here with your skiff out there. And these guys will come out of the sand. And once you kill the last one, the chapter will automatically end. So once you see a few stragglers, pause and then come back on insane. Finish the last 1 or 2 guys off. because right now the chapter ends as soon as you kill the last guy, as you see the achievement for finishing the chapter. So make sure to be careful with that one.
I don't know how you did it, but my scouts have just...
Now on chapter 3, you'll end the mission on the top of this rocket here. And you'll have a bunch of wretches climbing at you, like so. And once you kill the last one, the music will settle. And then a cutscene will trigger, so right before you kill the last wretch, pause. Make sure you're both on insane. Because once a cutscene hits, chapter will end. And now the next one, you'll be underneath a rocket, and once the rocket engages like that, you can't get attacked anymore, so pause, come back on insane, and then run through that final tunnel. So this one you got a lot of time after you defeat the boss. And then once you hit the end of the tunnel, that's when the chapter ends. And now on to Act 4, you'll be protecting a beacon here in this area, and as soon as you kill the last enemy, the chapter ends pretty quickly. I advise having your subtitles on so that you can see when the music settles. That's kind of what I used. Because as soon as you kill the last enemy, you're going to want to pause or right before it, but it's easier if you do it as soon as you kill it.
Actually, boss, we're a little busy right now. All that matters is keeping these things away from the city.
As you see there, you kill some snatchers with the Hammer of Dawn. And then right there, as soon as the last one dies, you want to hit that pause. Have my homie back out. Come back in on insane. As you see there, left the game, enter the game. And we both got credit for beating that on insane.
Eric, we're all clear here. Are the beacons synced yet?
So now we're on to the last chapter. Act 4, Chapter 2. Now, kind of hard to avoid spoilers, but it's good to know when you gotta back out. As soon as you shoot the left horn thing, you're safe to hit pause. Because you'll be ordered to fall back. And then when you fall back, you want to make sure you pause, come back on insane. See, it's telling you to fall back to the armory there.
Hammer, beacons or not?
And then you can't really do anything here, so you would have had all that time to back out and come back in on insane. And then as soon as you hear them say that, it's going to hit the cutscene pretty quick. So make sure by then you hit pause and came back on insane. So in between shooting the second tentacle face thing and that cutscene, you got all that time to pause and come back on insane. So make sure you do that. And then if you manage to do all that, you should unlock the achievement for beating the whole campaign on insane without actually having to both do it on insane. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope it helped you unlock the insane achievement and work towards Seriously 5.0. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in my other videos.